This video is brought to you by my two books, Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist and The Blues Guitar Bible. Want to learn about modes, harmony, scales, chord substitution and keys? Or maybe you're interested in supercharging your blues guitar rhythm and lead chops. Whatever you're interested in, I guarantee you will be hitting the fast lane to progress with either of these works. Both feature video demonstrations and tutorials, loads of tabs and jam tracks to play along with, and I promise you, everything is explained in crystal clear plain English. Check out the links in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. That was me doing my best to demonstrate what I think is probably the most widely used method of putting together a minor chord sequence in the entire canon of popular music. You will hear it in, like most other things that are worth listening to in popular music, you'll hear it in the work of the Beatles. You'll hear it in, Dire Straits. Something like Brothers in Arms uses this particular thing I'm going to talk about today, as well as maybe a little bit of Sultans of Swing and countless other songs by that band. But you'll also hear it in songs like The Trooper by Iron Maiden, Breaking the Law by Judas Priest. Loads and loads of examples of something called the Aeolian mode, and that was my little kind of rendition of a fairly typical Aeolian mode tune that I threw together this morning. Let's have a little bit of a look at what is the Aeolian mode and how it works and how you can use it.
Here is the explanation.
Okay then, the Aeolian mode, also known as the natural minor key. What's going on here then? Well, you may recall from previous videos, and if you don't, I'll link to them all in the description, that the way we find the major chords in any given key is to take this bar chord shape here, which in this case is going to give us an F. The E bar chord shape at the first fret is an F chord. Then that gives us an F, stay at the same fret and go to an A bar chord shape. That's going to give us a B flat, and then move that up 2 frets. That's going to give us a C chord. The 3 major chords in the key of F are F, B flat and C. Each one of those major chords has a relative minor, and again I've covered this in the past. check out the links in the description if you are unsure of minors and relative majors, or majors and relative minors. But the relative minor of an F chord is D minor. The relative minor of a B flat chord is a G minor. And the relative minor of a C chord is an A minor. So those three major chords, F, B flat and C, along with the D minor, the G minor and the A minor, are the 6 major and minor chords in the key of F. And the whole kind of ethos of a mode, if you like, is where we take those chords and shine a spotlight on one of them in particular as the musical centre of gravity. Basically, if we number those chords in ascending order, we'd have the one chord would be F, then you'd have a G minor, then an A minor, a B flat, a C, and a D minor. And we call those the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 chords. And the Aeolian mode, or natural minor key, is what you get when you take a group of chords like that you can derive like that, and shine the spotlight on the 6th chord. In this case, the D minor chord, and that's exactly what I did in that tune at the beginning of the video. It went from a D minor chord to an A minor chord, to a B flat major, to a C major, back to a D minor again, then G minor, and back to D minor, and then B flat, then down to an A minor, and then resolves back again on the D minor. You can hear when you put those chords into that order, when we reach that D minor chord at the end, everything sounds nice and resolved and settled. That is what we call the tonality. And when you make the 6th chord, remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When you make the 6th chord the tonality in whatever piece of music you're dealing with, then that is in the Aeolian mode, or natural minor key. How do you play over this? Well, because D minor is the tonality, the way I always view it, works for me, is I think in terms of, first of all, a pentatonic scale which fits that tonality. So D minor pentatonic, D, F, G, A, C, D, F, G, A, C, D, F, G, A, C, if I was to go up the neck. And then I just start looking around in the chord sequence for extra notes that I can add to that. And obviously the B flat chord has a B flat note in it, and that is not a D, an F, a G, or a C, which are the notes in the pentatonic scale. So I can start adding B flat notes into my D minor pentatonic. The A minor chord and the C chord both have an E note in them, so I can add the E note as well as the B flat into my D minor pentatonic. And if I do that, here's the D minor pentatonic on its own. So I can start adding the E note in. There it is there. And then there's the B flat there. There's the E. There's the B flat there. There's the E, and so on. So I get that scale there, and then just throughout all of the other pentatonic patterns, just add the B flat and E notes into a D minor pentatonic. So for instance, I can do D minor pentatonic using box 4 here, and I can add in the B flat note there, the E note there, B flat again there, E note again there, B flat again there, and so on. like that. Okay, that's the way I tend to view this kind of thing. The reason I tend to think in terms of a pentatonic plus extra notes is because it helps me keep track of the overall tonality, the D minor overall feel of it, and then I'm just adding those additional, in this case B flat and E notes in as either feature notes over the relevant chord, where I'll add the B flat note in and kind of feature it over the B flat chord and so on. Or elsewhere, I'll just use them as just little colour tones. So, there's a note in the pentatonic. And I've got an E note right behind here. Like that. So I'm just adding that E note in as just a momentary bit of colour. Helps for me to keep that basic pentatonic box as the outline that I'm drawing around, and occasionally I can colour outside the lines with some of the additional notes that the chord sequence has given to me. And that's the same for any mode, but this is the Aeolian mode we've been talking about today. That's what's going on with it. Now you know what to do. Go away and have some fun with it. And as always, you'll find a full tab for the piece of music that we started off with in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it, that explanation you've just seen there, and a jam track to play along with yourself. All of that is, as usual, up on my Patreon page. There's the address, link in the description, as I'm sure you know by now. £3-ish or $3 a month gets you access to all of these additional goodies that go along with these YouTube videos. And a massive, massive thank you to everyone who supports me in that, or any of the other ways, all of which are down in the description, including the higher tier, the tier 2, $6 a month Patreon membership, where you get all of that stuff, plus some extra video content and a twice monthly hangout with me and the other tier 2 lads every other Tuesday, 7 PM UK time. All of that kind of tabs and stuff, plus that extra content and a Zoom hangout as well. And of course, a massive, massive thank you to everyone who supports me in that, or any of the other ways, all of which are downstairs in the description. And that's pretty much it for this week. This week's little songwriting lesson, I guess you'd call it. I hope you've enjoyed the video and found it useful and informative, and maybe even a little bit entertaining along the way. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. It's all about the beer and the chat. That's all we do, basically. Just have a beer and talk nonsense for an hour. Well, I certainly do anyway, but it's a great way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.